Hello and welcome to Fernbank Science Center's The Sky This Week for February 7th through 13th, 2021. This second week of February brings us a new moon this year, a variable star toward the end of the week, some of the bright winter stars in the evening, and some of the bright summer stars starting to appear in the early morning sky. On February 7th at 6 in the morning, if the sky is clear, head toward the east. Point your nose in the direction where the sun rises. You'll be facing the east. There should be a thin crescent moon toward the south part of east, a waning crescent moon, a bright fish hook of stars, that is the scorpion, and three bright stars that make a large triangle. This is a big asterism, these three in the sky. Each of the stars is in a different constellation. Each is supposed to be some kind of a bird. The brightest of the three, after the crescent moon down there toward the southeast, is the star Vega or Vega. It's the beak of a vulture carrying a little lyre, a harp-like instrument, the lyre of Orpheus. In Greek mythology, he was such a great musician, stones and trees would listen. He was so great, his playing. The next one, Deneb, it's on the tail of Cygnus the swan. If you look at three stars in a row and two more this way, a sideways cross shape, Cygnus. The last one is Altair, in the eye of the eagle Aquila. Those three stars, fairly bright and easy to see, are toward the eastern part of the sky. If you watch over the next few days, as the moon gets thinner, those stars will appear a little higher each morning until after a month or so, we'll be seeing those in the early evening sky. So toward the east, early in the morning, early in the week. By midweek, you'll want to be facing south in the evening. If you put your left shoulder toward where the sun rises, that will give you your nose facing toward the south, and there are bright stars visible in the wintertime sky. Even the planet Mars sneaks in there. Sirius is the brightest of the lot. It is lowest toward the horizon. And if you can find that one, sometimes it sparkles different colors, red and blue, as the air changes. Sirius is the nose of the hunting dog for Orion, the hunter, a big rectangle of stars with three in the middle for his belt, shoulders up here, belt stars, little hunting knife on one side, and knee stars down here. So from Sirius to Rigel to Aldebaran, the eye of Taurus the bull. We looked at this a week or so ago, the V shape of stars that makes his face, long horns sticking off this way. Don't get mixed up between the reddish colored star Aldebaran and the planet Mars, much brighter and higher on the sky. Continue on to the Gemini brothers, Castor and Pollux. These two, sometimes called the stars that the sailors follow by Gemini. There's Castor's head, long body, foot sticking out this way, waving one arm up this way. Pollux, his head, another long body, foot sticking out this way, and he's pointing down with his arm, down toward Procyon in the little dog, two little stars. This circle or hexagon of bright winter stars is up fairly early in the evening and up almost all night this time of year. Keep an eye out for those. February 11th, we get a new moon. There is not an eclipse of the sun in Atlanta this month, but that's the only time you can have a solar eclipse is when the moon is in new phase. And as it moves along its orbit, it appears right smack dab in front of the sun and cuts it off. We will not be able to see that until 2024 here in the Atlanta area. Not an eclipse this month, but we do get a new moon on the 11th. Toward the end of the week, face the western part of the sky, opposite where the sun rose. Figure out where the sun is setting. Mars is high in the sky, and there are some wintertime constellations toward the south, and some leftover autumn constellations or fall ones over here toward the west. If you could draw lines around them, that might make them easier to find on the night sky. If you can find the planet Mars, nice and bright, and then down near the horizon, there are 4 stars that make a large square, the Great Square of Pegasus. The stars are pretty bright. If you want to figure out if you have the right square up there, hold one arm straight out in front of you, make a fist with your hand, keep your elbow straight and rotate around. You can fit your fist inside that square of Pegasus, the flying horse. Use your imagination. The square is his body. His neck is heading down this way. He's eating some of the tree leaves, and his front legs are on this side. Follow the Milky Way up toward the top of the sky. There's our little zigzag for Cassiopeia, the queen. And up higher, a slingshot shape constellation. This is Perseus, the hero. He's the one who rode the flying horse to rescue Princess Andromeda because Queen Cassiopeia had bragged about how beautiful she was. Check that story out, it's a good one. If you find a regular sky, no lines, find that big square, Pegasus's body, down near the northwest part of the sky. A little higher up, find the slingshot shape that is Perseus, the constellation. And one of the stars in Perseus is a variable star. It changes its brightness on a regular basis. It's not a pulsating one. It's not one that breathes bigger and smaller, brighter and dimmer. This one is an eclipsing binary. The star's name is Algol, the scary one that brightens and dims. And an eclipsing binary, it's 2 stars, binary, in orbit around each other. Sometimes the brighter star is visible. Sometimes the dimmer star comes in front. Sometimes they're near each other. Sometimes the dimmer one is behind. So this is over a period of hours that this happens. If you can make a light curve, measure the brightness of a star, when the dim star gets in front of the brighter one, boop, the light drops down. There can be a secondary eclipse if the 2 stars are lined up again. And over a while that it takes, and then the star gets brighter. So it gets brighter and dimmer, brighter and dimmer. Algol dims in brightness on the 12th, starting at 7:30. If you have the opportunity to use binoculars or a phone app that shows you where Algol is, you might want to watch toward the beginning, maybe 7 or 7:30 or so, watch it get dimmer. 5 hours later, just after midnight, when the dimmer star has completed its front orbit, then you'll be able to see Algol get brighter again. And it's a noticeable brightness. If you have a chance, if the sky is clear, if you have good binoculars and a decent phone app, see if you can find that. Mars, bright and pink. The Pleiades, little cluster of stars a little higher, and Algol just to the northwest. That's it for this week. Thank you very much for listening to the prognostications. Fernbank Science Center's website, www.fernbank.edu. Check there on Fridays for our virtual planetarium programs. During the month of February, we're celebrating African American artists and scientists and astronomers. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks again for listening. Have a great week.